are serious about energy efficiency, new forms of energy, and global warming. We also need to set some new goals with education. I'd like to see us have access to preschool education for kids to get a better start in life. And let's make college affordable again so people don't all the time who say they can't go to college because they can't afford it. You know, when I went to college, my dad had saved enough money so that he could pay for tuition and room and board, but if I had to buy a book, I had to earn the money, and that was fair because I'd worked ever since I was 13 during the summer. Then I thought I wanted to go to law school, so I told my father, he said, well, that wasn't in the plan, so you're going to have to figure out how to pay for that. But in those days, I could go borrow at 2.5% from the federal government, and I didn't have to bankrupt myself to be able to pursue my education. I want that again for every young person. Now, in order to do any of this, we're going to have to reform the government, because look at what they've done up there. It is a culture of cronyism and corruption. Idea. How about if we start by appointing people who are qualified to hold the job? You know, I spent yesterday in New Orleans, and I gave a commencement address this morning at Dillard University, which was under 6 to 10 feet of water after Katrina. And it was very inspiring to see the way that university is coming back and to see, you know, some of the recovery efforts, but it was also disheartening. I was in neighborhoods where the houses are still uninhabitable and trailers are in the driveways. 80,000 households are still living in trailers. I visited a woman named Mrs. Johnson who had that trailer in her driveway, her house where she's lived for 30 years and raised her 6 children. You know, some fly-by-night folks came along and made an attempt to fix it, but she still can't live in it. Man across the street, a retired man, is half paralyzed on one side. The house is all he has, and that house is still not inhabitable. I went to another neighborhood, and they just opened a senior center, and a lot of seniors can't go back home. They're living with relatives because they can't live in those trailers. And if you've been in one of those trailers, you know how hard it is. That is not the way America should behave. We can do better than that. But we can't do it if we don't have a government that is competent again. That is actually